You ever wake up in the morning and feel like you just had enough? I wake up in the morning, I look at the news, don't watch it on TV because TV's crap. Don't read the articles because the articles are crap. Look at the headlines, and the headlines are crap. Really don't like the direction this country's going. Got a lot of concern for my kids as they continue to get older, a lot of concern for my grandkids. I work 2 jobs to try to get ahead. I'm a paramedic and I'm a blacksmith. Work 7 days a week, 12, sometimes 18 hours a day. Just do the best I can. I got therapy for that. Let's go smash some steel. Let's start out with the piece of 3/16 by about 1 inch. See what we can come up with. Let's start off by knocking the corners back to about 45-degree angle. I'm gonna go ahead and do all 4 corners before we even get started. No real plan for what I'm coming out with. We'll see what happens. I think I'm gonna do a hidden Tang blade this time. We got our corners knocked back. So now we're gonna start working out the point. Working down from the spine. Make sure we keep our thickness just about the same as the parent stock. That's what we want at this point. And I'm gonna go ahead and start dragging the steel down away from the spine and widening the blade and making a bevel. Since I really don't have a plan, I have no idea how long a blade I want, so I'm going to start at the end and draw it back till I think it looks good. And be careful here. It's starting to get a little curve in the spine, not really happy with that. I'm keeping the edge kind of thick so I can dress the edge as I go. Smack it on the anvil, take the curve out of the spine. A few taps, make sure everything stays centered. Y'all are listening, if you can hear a coughing sound in the background, that's my old dog. She's acting silly right now. Straighten her back out. Make sure we take out most of the hammer marks. So I'm going to leave a few in it though. I think I'm going to leave this blade finished mostly as forged. Just do a little bit of light polishing when I get ready to do the edge. Make this one really rustic. Not too bad. Need to add just a little more length, I believe. Bring the bevel down a little more. Back a little farther. Yeah. That's just about suiting me now. It's good and straight. Maybe just a hair more length. Dress the spine a little bit. That's looking good for length, so. I just got to make sure everything's flat and even, straight. Pretty good. Make a little tap, mark where I'm going to start drawing back for the Tang. Now I'm setting down where I want the Tang to start. Stop. Stop, Lucy. Sorry, talking to my dog. Getting there. It's pretty good. Draw it down a little more. About ready to cut this off. Tang would be way too long if I drew it out all the way. Fairly satisfied with the dimensions I have right now. So we're just going to put in the hardy cutter and nip it off. That's being stubborn. There it goes. I'm going to start out by drawing the end of the tang down to a point. There we go. And over the next heat or two, I'm going to draw it out for length and draw it down for width so that I have a taper from the point of the blade, from the point where the tang transitions into the blade. Tapered both ways, tapered for thickness and for width. Not too bad. Getting pretty close to the right length. Kind of see what I'm working with there. Make sure it's straight. Pretty good. I think I'm going to hot stamp my touch mark on this one. Yep, there's my hot stamp. And I'm about to make a mistake. Fiddling around too long, lost too much heat. Didn't hit it square, didn't get a good solid strike. So, I'm going to have to do this again. And that's going to end up with a double strike of my stamp mark, my touch mark on the blade. That's okay. Of all the blades I've made, this will be the second one out there that has a double stamp touch mark. There's another one floating around somewhere that I ended up making the same boo-boo on. Doesn't really hurt anything. If anything, it just sort of adds to the character and the uniqueness of this particular blade. Make sure everything's straight. And now we're annealing it. So the camera's not showing the colors right. That was a good yellow. Now I'm letting it cool to black in still air. Gotta wait. Can't get impatient. I'm sorry, I said annealing earlier. This isn't annealing. This is normalizing. Let me straighten my nomenclature out. So we're normalizing the blade. Excuse me. And what this does is it de-stresses the blade and it refines the crystalline structure of the steel, which will make the steel tougher and will make the edge able to hold up a little better. This is our second normalization cycle. We're going to go through 3 cycles of normalization. And we're waiting. And we need one more normalization cycle. So this next time, we won't be going quite as warm. Oh, dropped it on the floor. That's okay. That's all right. It's okay. Not as warm this time, just past the point where a magnet sticks to the blade, just past the critical temperature. And that should really refine that grain, make the grain structure of the steel nice and fine. Yeah, good enough. Now we're going to warm it up and get ready to quench. And you'll notice that when I go into initially, I've just got the edge in the oil. I'm hardening the edge. I want the edge to be harder than the rest of the blade, but I don't want the rest of the blade dead soft, so I'm actually going to dunk the rest of the blade while it's still warm enough to take on some toughness without being brittle. Cool it down. Very good. Still nice and straight, just how I want it. Get this out of the way before I spill it and make a mess. And we're going to grab a file. Little file test. Skates a file just fine. That file wasn't biting a bit. And there we are. Just a little scrub up so I can see the temper colors. Put it in the temper and it'll be ready to fit a handle to. Thanks for watching.